Well, well, well. What do we have here? We have an amazing tool, groundbreaking even, that allows us to interact with PDFs in a way that has never been possible. So I know there's been a lot of talk of automation, AI, and all these different things that have leveled up people's productivity in the last year. But for those of us that are students or people who interact with PDFs, often we don't have a solution to level up our experience when working with those different PDFs. And I often struggle with gaining a lot of different insights from long PDFs because who wants to read that entire thing? I took philosophy in college. I studied business. I studied so many different subjects where the PDFs were just ridiculously hard to read. They were given to us in a digital format, but even then, what am I going to stare at a screen and read that long of a PDF? No, hundreds of pages? Well, lucky for you, PDF.ai is a level up in the way that you can work in your studying or in your job when you have to deal with insanely long PDFs. You can get started for free and even try out the demo where there's an example PDF right here. And all you need to do is click on this little prompt action. It'll give you some ideas for what to ask it. So for example, you can ask for PDF.ai to give me a summary of this document. You see it's 9 pages and it managed to summarize it in a very short format. Along with the short summary, you have references to the different paragraphs it was pulling from. So you can see page 1 and then lines 25 through 40 were also referenced within here. You can see that the 2 references were taken from where the highlighted section was. It's on page 1 for both of these. And it just took the introduction and essentially condensed it, which was pretty much all we needed. And if this is a prompt that you like, you can essentially press plus, and then it adds it to your prompt library. So easy. Let's dive into an example and how the application actually works when you have the product. So going in right here, you'll see that I already have some different documents that I've uploaded. The way that you can interact with this tool is essentially you would go to the upload tab, and you can either upload it by uploading up to a 50 megabyte size document. You can add tags to it, like for example, philosophy. If it's a private document and you do not want it to be stored on the server, you can click on this. And if you need optical character recognition because it's an image that doesn't actually have text attached to it, you can do that as well. But for me, Letters from a Stoic regarding Seneca's writings was something that I had to study in college and made a huge impact on me. But if I was somebody new in class, what I would do is go to copy that URL, paste it in here in PDF.ai, and then in a few moments, it'll upload the entirety of the PDF into my account. And you'll notice it has 122 pages. You can go through the different pages by clicking here or, typing whatever number you'd want. So I can go all the way from 120 to 1 in an instant. You can change the different size of here. So I like to make it fit the page or do the page width, whatever your preference is though. And you're able to print it out and adjust the way that you interact with it and go from first page to last page in a second. Now, this is the cool stuff. On the bottom left, you'll obviously see that there is an example prompt that can be given, but what's really cool is if I put a specific prompt here that says, what is the key takeaway from the beginning section of this document? And you'll notice that it tells me and brings up the different reference points. So you'll see it's on page 26, page 105, and page 27. It pulled all of these different forms of text to note that the key takeaway is that the importance of living in the present moment and embracing each day with joy and gratitude. The author emphasizes that living without worry for the future leads to a peaceful independence and a happiness beyond all others. This is what Letters from a Stoic are about. Now, if I wanted to add that to my prompt library, I can simply press here. And then in the future, when interacting with this, all I would do was click that button on the bottom left, go here, and you'll see that here are my options. I can edit this prompt to just say, what is the key takeaway from this document? And I also can search this. So for example, if I type what, you'll notice that it goes here. If I do takeaway, it also just shows that. So any time I'm going through and asking more questions like, who is Seneca writing to? You'll notice that it talks about how he's writing to Lucilius. In the document, it is mentioned that the 124 letters that Seneca wrote comprises something entirely new in literature and were addressed to Lucilius. So this gave a little bit of a summary of who he wrote to as well as the context. And if I wanted to add this as a prompt for any reason, obviously I can do that. It's very contextual, so I probably wouldn't. But another example of a prompt that could work here would be, what are the 5 most impactful takeaways from this document? In order to kind of get a summary and give you more of an impact of what is this about? What are the things I can learn from this so that I can then speak to it in class, or just so I don't have to go through 122 pages of philosophical letters. So for example, the importance of simplicity and inner qualities, the pursuit of philosophy and freedom, the fleeting nature of life and the importance of enjoying the present, the power of words and precepts, and the pursuit of wisdom as the key to good health, along with some short descriptions to go along with it. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I would then add to the prompt library, right? Because I could ask this about any article and it would make a lot of sense. Now, if I want to, I can actually share this entire interaction to the web. You'll notice if I paste it out in another link, even if it's in incognito mode, then people would be able to interact with this and ask it different questions. Like, give me a summary of this document. It's not going to bring in your library of different prompts, but it is going to give you the opportunity to share your PDF.ai experience with other people. As you can see, it's giving a beautiful summary. Look at this. ridiculous amount of information. I love this. And it just goes to show that the context window is very good from a backend API perspective. But after interacting with this, when I go back here, you'll notice that this is inside here. I can edit the name to just be letters from a Stoic. And you'll notice if I click on this, I'm just gonna filter to the different selected tags. And then I can clear the tag selected by clicking there. I can delete anything old if I wanted to. But on top of that, I also, if I click on chats, would notice that this would showcase to me all the different chats that I actually had with the documents as well as when they were. And then another really cool thing that we have is on the back end, we have these free PDF tools. We put this in here so that it would be easier for you to essentially utilize all the different PDFs, put them all together without you needing to use a bunch of different tools for PDFs. This is a much better solution. You have your PDF tools all bundled into the PDF.ai experience. Resume AI scanner, which is really cool to get some insight on your resume. Being able to merge PDFs is awesome. And it's always hard to trust these kind of tools on the internet, but you can trust PDF.ai to at least do these and not give you malware. There's also a Chrome extension, which is really cool, and we will dive into that in its entirety in another video, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. And there is also developer tools. So if you do have an API key, you can put your API key in here from OpenAI, and you have some more options within here for personal and non-commercial use. And if you're interested to learn any more use cases that could exist within this, make sure to check out our use case page, as it'll dive into different things like books, scientific papers, financial reports, and much more. We're so excited for this tool to level up the way that you interact with your PDFs. No more spending hours and hours and hours reading Seneca unless you really want to, or diving into scientific papers, different financial reports. Just spend the time going into PDF.ai and not the time reading 300, 500, I don't even know how many page PDFs. If you like this video, make sure to comment down below what your thoughts are on PDF.ai, and check out this video on how to improve your skills using this tool even more.